I want you to imagine that you have this dream friend, okay? Just play with me for a second. She is so happy. She is so healthy. She is such a giver. She is wildly successful. Like, she lives in this beautiful home. She drives, you know, a really nice car. She has a great savings. She also loves to spend money, not only on herself, but her family. She carries cash. She is showing up on social media super consistently. She's making offers, and she wants to be your friend. And genuinely is asking for your number, asking to go to coffee, asking to hang out. And you just look at her and you're like, I really want to be her friend, but I'm super intimidated by her. So maybe you go as far as making plans with her and you bail last minute, or you cancel, or you're just I'm going to have to check my schedule and I'll get back to you later. And this wealthy friend is like, man, I really want to be her friend. And I'm not going to force her to be my friend. And you keep going through this pattern of you want to be her friend. You keep leaning in, right? And then you lean out, and then you lean in, and then you lean out, and then you lean in, and then you lean out. And you're so intimidated by her, but yet you so desire a relationship with her. If that does not stop, right? If we don't stop it, then you won't have a relationship with her. And the friend is your wealthiest self. And that behavior is stopping so many women from getting what they desire. It's so easy to point the finger at our significant other or our kids, if we're being honest, or the economy, or social media, oh my gosh, my posts are crickets, no one's seeing them. You put out an offer, no one wants it. It's so easy to point the finger. But when we point the finger, we can't do really anything about it because it's out of our control. We don't control the economy as one person, right? And so when we actually change the conversation of wow, I'm going to call myself forward and I'm going to keep promises to myself more. This year has been about promises, pinky promises, not goals for me. I have goals and dreams. I am a high achiever, big dreamer. So that is a big part of me. But again, as I've been going through this process, which the secret program in October, we're going to dig real deep in all of this because I've gone through this. I'm almost to the other side and I can feel it. And I'm so excited because I'm I got to teach this, because then I know I'm going to just bring all the humans with me and then we're all going to get to the other side. But I'm so far along in this process that now I can, hindsight's 2020, I can see where I was self-sabotaging, where I was canceling my plans, right, with my wealthiest self so many times. It's almost impossible to get healthy when we keep saying that we're going to work out and we never do, or we drink a little bit of water but then we stop, or we take a green shot but then we don't do it again, or we start to meal prep but then we fall off and then we never get back on, right? Again, this is not about being perfect, but for me it's about pinky promises, and it's doing the things that I know my wealthiest self would do, doing them more than I'm not doing them. That's key. That is it, right? Life's gonna happen, but we can't let it happen to you. Take your moment to take your deep breath, but then you've got to keep it going. And so if you're noticing yourself canceling plans consistently with your wealthiest self, how are you ever gonna meet her? If you keep canceling the plans, you're never going to meet her. And even if you show up and then you never reach out to her again, then we can't have a long-term relationship with her, right? I already believe you're your wealthiest self, but it's those self-sabotaging behaviors. It's who you think you have to be in order to have a relationship as your wealthiest self. And so when we start to get all of that out, if I were to suck it up with a straw, right? You're already your wealthiest self, right? this is what's been mind-blowing to me. Like, do I desire a bigger home with land where my kids can go outside and play and like our dog can like, run around? Absolutely. However, what if I just made my current home feel even better, cozier? Like, this was like one of the biggest ahas for me, as I was going through postpartum depression, and I looked in the mirror and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I don't love how I look. I feel blah. I want to grow out my hair. That's going to be a process, right? Again, when you change your point of view, you change your life. I can't say that enough. And so what I started to do was, what do I need to do to feel good right now? Right? Like, I know where I want to go, but that's going to take some time. I can start, a savings account. I can put on makeup today. I can go for a walk today. I can, clean up the house today. Whatever it may be, when you start to embody your wealthiest self today, you literally become her so much faster. So much faster. We all desire to have that friend that is like our top cheerleader, is always there and supporting us and loving on us. Like, you've got to first do that for yourself. And then you'll start to attract other people that want to do that for you. Like, the abundance birthday bash has blown my way. Literally last night, somebody messaged me and she's like, I want to sponsor 2 people for one of your programs. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, that's amazing. And she just like Venmo'd the money and she's like, you pick them, right? Like, people have sent me gifts in the mail. People have shared, they've connected me. Like, there's been so many beautiful moments, like, not even just business related. Like, Sarah flew all the way here to spend the weekend with me. And I'm just like, I've never had a friend do that. Like, and like, it felt so good. And it felt like, wow, she would have not done that if she didn't want to do that. Right. And so it's like, who we start to embody is literally the magnet for everything you desire. Like, it's been so interesting to me as I've been getting Zillow updates. Before, every house that I saw, because we've been looking for a while, I'm like, that's not it, that's not it, that's not it. But now I've been getting Zillow updates and I'm like, oh, we're getting closer. Like, this is more on point. This is more what we desire. This is more in our price range. And I'm like, it is happening, right? And it is happening. And like, regulating yourself around that, normalizing it for yourself is key. So like, when I just let go of who I thought I had to be and started to embody, like, yeah, sometimes I'm going to have stains on my shirt. Sometimes there's going to be a baby screaming. Like, is it ideal? No, but is it real life? Yes. Right. And so just the more we can authentically be ourselves and continue to embody our wealthiest self, you start to keep promises to yourself because you want you to keep promises to you. Like, our rewards, great for sure. But again, we can't always do it for the outside validation. Do it for the internal validation of like, I am worthy of feeling good. Some of my residue was I had to work through not feeling good enough. And that was a big block for me, and it was stopping me. It was stopping me from so much. Would I have done a daily deal and a daily giveaway the entire month of August if I didn't feel like I was good enough? Probably not. But on August 1st, guess who decided, like, this is what we're going to do? And I started to run, and I didn't look back, to now the point where I'm like, we're going to keep this going. The giveaways are going to keep getting bigger. I would rather give you the money than Mark Zuckerberg. Like, I want to build this movement together. And it feels so good to me if you're like, oh my gosh, like, this thing in my home came from the Wealthy Mama movement. This made my life better. Like, oh my gosh, I earned a call. Like a grassroots organic movement that is so different, so unique that you cannot find it anywhere else. You cannot find the Wealthy Mama movement anywhere on the internet. Like, it is so unique, it is so different, and it is so special, and it's because I'm different, I'm special, I'm unique. I'm not trying to do business and marketing how everyone else is trying to do it. And even how I teach is the framework, so that way you can take the framework and make it uniquely you. I will never tell you have to do this to be successful. I will teach you strategy. I will teach you methodology. I will teach you frameworks. So then you can take that and shape it and mold it in a way that feels good to you. So you can be your wealthiest self, your happiest self, your healthiest self. There is a big thing where people are so afraid of losing people in their life. Like if they become wildly successful and wildly happy and like super hot and healthy, I know I had to work through this one, like their significant other is going to abandon them or their friends are going to abandon them. And it could happen. It is a risk. We're taking risk every single day. But when you look in the mirror, you being happy, healthy, and wealthy is the top priority because you're stuck with you for the rest of your life. And you have to know that there are going to be people that come into your life for a reason, a season, and a lifetime. And not everyone is meant to be with you for life, but you're with yourself for life, right? And so the more we can make you happy, again, the people that are meant to stay will just naturally stay. And then you'll know that they were meant for you and not just because of who you were thinking that you needed to be. Because that's where a lot of friction can happen where like if you were one way and then you started changing, like there could be people that are like, this is different. I don't like it. Not for me. And that's okay. And like working through that has been one of the things that I had to really do. Again, we're working through all of this in the October group. If you want in, I'm giving you more hints because there's a lot here. There's so much to unpack, but I'll continue to talk about it publicly. But if you want to hop in to our October secret group, there's going to be a mini lesson every single day. The price did go up to $47, but it will be worth every penny. And you get access to everything even after, but I'm teaching it in real time with you. You're going to be working through it. And like, just imagine who you could be at the end of the 30 days when you just like I'm just going to suck. That sounds so bad, but you know what I mean? I'm just going to suck all the residue out of you, all the gooiness, everything that's in your way, that's blocking you. We're just going to like take a straw and we're going to suck it up and we're going to move on. Okay. And we're going to live our best life together. Okay. So if you want in, let me know. Shout out to Kristen Rourke with Busy Mom Bod for sponsoring this episode. I'm so grateful for you. And I know she's got a lot of good things in the works. So are you going to keep a date to yourself, your wealthiest self, and not bail? That's the key. That's the big question.